There's a new Harry Potter series officially confirmed for Max. We're going to talk about that really quick right now on the Sundowners Club. Welcome. I'm your host, Sean, co-host Sterling. So Sterling, it's been a poorly kept secret that Zasloff and Warner's really wanted to energize and invest in the future of the Harry Potter franchise. You've mentioned before, and he actually said it on one of the prior presentation investor calls, that this is one of their primary IPs, and they're committed to it. And so it was on the same call where he talked about doing Lord of the Rings movies and other content. And so not a big secret, not shocking, but to actually hear it announced today officially that they're rebooting Harry Potter.
It's crazy.
Is very, very interesting. And what's cool is they said on the Twitter account, and I'm not going to quote it verbatim because I'm not going to look at my phone and see exactly what they said, but they said that we're going to stay faithful to the books. Their adaptation was going to be faithful to the books. And so you could decipher that in a lot of different ways. I don't know how to take that other than I think there's a lot of things that go into more detail around characters and settings in the books.
So they're going over the exact same events in the movies.
Yeah, so according to Warner's, each season is going to be, I think I also read on maybe Screen Rant and a few other sites, that each season is going to be a book. If you like what you're hearing today, leave a comment below, smash that like button, and most importantly, hit subscribe so that we can grow the channel. I don't know. I don't think they said anything today around how many episodes.
That gives them more time to
potentially 10 hours, or more.
So they wouldn't really have to cut anything.
Oh no, they would be able to go in a lot more detail around things that they think the fans really love, and they've had more than a decade or longer of feedback from what the fans really love. So they have an advantage of that, and then they're recasting the actors. So, when they say a faithful adaptation, they're staying faithful to the author, J.K. Rowling. So, and J.K. Rowling is going to be a producer on this.
Well, if you look at the time period that the books take place, I mean, this could be something. If it's successful, it could go on for years. Years and years. We could watch a whole other set of kids grow up again. I mean, it's.
I think it'd be really cool.
It's just crazy that they're rebooting an iconic series.
You know what I want to see? I mean, again, I was.
It's kind of like if they reboot the Star Wars trilogy.
I know, and I think people are going to have mixed emotions. They recast
everybody. I don't know.
I mean, I didn't grow up with Harry Potter. I was an adult, but what you're saying, I'm very sensitive to that. Like the kids that grew up with, Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson and
I didn't either. I was in high school, right when it came out. So my wife loves it. She thinks she's.
And to them, those those characters are they're the characters. So right. I get that. I'm sensitive to that. But I am fascinated to see who will play Neville, who plays Harry, Hermione and Dumbledore. They had Richard Harris passes away after the first 2 movies, and they have to recast Dumbledore, and so now you get to
Snape.
I mean,
everybody.
Oh my God, Severus, that's gonna be really, really criticize the casting of Snape because we obviously don't have him anymore.
I don't know though. That's just crazy that they're doing this. They're
Alan Rickman. Does it get better than Alan Rickman?
No, I mean,
boy, you got your work cut out for you to find.
I mean, that was the thing though. I wasn't a huge Harry Potter fan. I was dragged to the movies a lot of the time, but I could recognize that they weren't bad movies. They were
respect the fact that it was a whole generation. And you know what's cool
about
it?
They're well done.
I really liked driving by the bookstores and seeing kids lined up to go in when the books came out.
Right.
That was really cool to see a whole generation of kids getting introduced to this story via the books. And, kudos to J.K. Rowling for pulling that off, and the books. You got to respect that, whether it's your genre or not, or you don't enjoy it. It has a huge following, and all you have to do is go to Universal and Wizarding World of Harry Potter to see that. But the stories, if they, I guess we'll find out soon if they're going to do 10 episodes or more or less. Obviously, budget's always a concern, especially with where things are right now with the business. But I don't think they can. They have to be careful about sparing too much of the budget on this because it's an expansive world,
Oh,
and people are going to expect the filming to be done in England and it to be uniquely British. That's what it is, and that's almost like a second character in the movies and the books. And I'm fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by the casting and how long the episodes will be and how long each season will be. And I mean, look, how many times does HBO get it wrong? I mean, even the shows that I don't have an interest in, I respect the quality
they dropped the ball on the ending a lot, though.
of the ending of shows.
Yeah, I mean, like we're Game of Thrones fans, and they did that. But I mean, even back in like The Sopranos and back in the day, Rome. I mean,
Yeah.
they do have great shows, but at the very end, they tend to kind of screw it up. So
You know what?
Yeah.
I've talked to so many people in Sopranos, and some hate it, and some think it's genius. Like I don't know. I can't argue with that. I think that's the eye of the beholder about although there's not too much argument around the ending of Game of Thrones. But then again, look, they got House of the Dragon now, and other Game of Thrones.
it
content
always
in the
feels like
pipeline,
they
so,
run into this budget issue, though. At the end, like the shows get real big,
Yeah,
and they always make stars out of whoever's in the shows. Almost always the people go on to have huge careers. And
well, they've got to sign them for the 7 seasons. Then, like,
yeah, and
we
then
know
and,
it's
and that's
7
what
seasons.
happens. They get 4 or 5 seasons in, and they want a ton of money, and then they don't have the budget for it anymore. So then they just end it.
You know
cut
what
it
they
short.
can't do? What I don't want to see them do this because to me the greatest show that I've seen on television, Breaking Bad, it shows they do this is they get towards the end and they say we're going to break up the final season into 2 seasons. Even though it's 6 episodes or 6 or 8 or whatever,
Yeah.
and you have to wait a year, and I don't do that.
Well, that
If you're-
that was an AMC thing, though.
Yeah,
they did that with They did that with Breaking Bad and Walking Dead and all
But-
that stuff.
They did it with the Game of Thrones. The negotiations with Benioff and Weiss broke down, and they went from 10 episodes to 7 and 6
All right.
to end it. So, I hope they look at this and they go, we have 7 seasons of 10 episodes or 12 or whatever they're going to do, and they say this is what we're doing. They lock them into contracts, and they see the vision through. And after 7, they're in the Deathly Hallows, and that's it. And they finish it, and that would be a work of art. You get the right writers. I mean, look, the content is already there.
Yeah.
You just have to, you have to mold it into a script. That's easier said than done.
It's
But
crazy you're already like recasting those iconic roles, and I don't know.
I'm excited for it, man. Like HBO. I trust HBO.
Curious what the hardcore Harry Potter fans think.
Yeah, listen. It's not my content, that I grew up with. So I'm very interested in what the Harry Potter fans that were kids and got the books and read the books and saw the movies and grew up with it. I'm very interested in what they think about it, and let us know what you think. The news came out today. It was all over the web. So there's going to be a lot of discussion about it, and it's in the early stages of development. But if Warner's is announcing it and Casey Bloys at HBO is talking about it, then this thing is going to probably move pretty fast. And it's a golden goose of an IP, and they want to maximize that. So let us know what you think. If you grew up with the Harry Potter books, you watch these movies, and you love this story and the content, and you have thoughts about it, let us know. Leave a comment, smash the like button, and hit subscribe so that we can continue to grow the content on this channel. And TCB.